All right, so electronegativity, what is it? So electronegativity allows us to predict bond polarity. And electronegativity is defined as the ability of an atom to pull electrons in bonds towards itself. So it's kind of how much it wants the electrons. And this is a super duper important topic in chemistry, definitely the most important periodic trend that we'll learn. So you definitely want to have a good feel for electronegativity. So I like the little analogy of you got people kind of playing tug of rope or tug of war. And one dude's huge, one dude's little, right? And then these are electrons, right? Even though they're playing tug of war, one of them is going to be kind of stronger and pulling on the cord more, pulling on those electrons more. That's the more electronegative atom here. And so if we take a look at the trend of this, we have our little periodic table. First thing we do is we kind of ignore the noble gases because they don't really bond. And so in terms of the trend, electronegativity increases when we go from left to right and from down to up. We get more and more electronegative. And that has to do, if you think about the trends we learned, when we go from left to right, we see an increase in Z effective, the effective nuclear charge, how hard they're pulling on these electrons. And then as we go up, we also get smaller. And the smaller we are, the closer those electrons are to the nucleus, and thus the stronger the pull. So fluorine is going to be your most electronegative element. So let's just look at the actual numbers here. So there's a scale in terms of electronegativity. And you can see here's a picture right here. You can see red is very electronegative. Green is less electronegative. So fluorine over here is going to be your most electronegative element. And then realize that when you go to left, it drops less than when you go down. So even though oxygen and chlorine are both one spot away from fluorine, oxygen is more electronegative than chlorine. And this trend continues, right? Nitrogen is actually more electronegative than bromine, but not too much. So in terms of what are your most electronegative elements, they're fluorine, oxygen, chlorine, and nitrogen.